Sup, everybody.
What up, what up?
How's it going, Tomboy?
All right, how about you?
Good.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
I'm excited for today's episode.
I am too.
We got our old pal John on today.
Hello.
What's up, John?
How's it going? Is that a time boy?
What's going on?
What's going on with you? Anything new? Anything fun?
Not really. Just being an old boring dad, but getting by.
Hey.
That's life, as they say.
Yeah. Playing music, just kind of doing what I normally do anyway. So
Excellent.
Sweet.
keeping at it.
Yeah. I do miss playing music sometimes.
It's fun.
Yeah. I miss the band days.
Yeah. I don't like the drama, but I do love playing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been time since I played on a stage.
That's
I
what
was doing some acoustic shit for a little while, but like solo acoustic stuff.
I remember that. I remember
yeah.
your Seal cover.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Kiss
Kiss
from a
from a
Rose.
Rose?
Hell
Hell
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good one.
That was sweet.
Anyways, previous episodes, we've talked, we did a whole episode on like Nintendo and like the games and like the cool add-ons and shit you can have. And we figured that we're going to have sporadic episodes, so we're just going to fucking rock our way through the different systems. And today we're going to go with the fucking Super NES. Right, boys?
Hell yeah.
Nice.
This, I think, is, as far as the old systems go, this is definitely my favorite.
Oh yeah. I had so many memories from just playing on that. So.
Were you more of like a Super or a Sega?
I was a Super Nintendo kid. Like I had friends that had both or just one or the other.
Right.
And whenever I would go to their houses and play Sega, I was always just like turned off by it because I was always a fighting game kid.
Yeah.
So Street Fighter 2, that was like my bread and butter right there.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So like when I'd go over to like my friend's house who had it on Sega, you only had 3 buttons, and so like you're already down by like three other
more buttons. Yeah. Unless you're like one of the rich kids that had like they made Sega controllers that had the other. There's like a 6-button one.
I
It was
forgot
only
about
like the
those.
rich kids that had that.
Yeah. I wasn't friends with any rich kids, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
So I remember playing because I think you had to to get to the punches or kicks, you had to hold start or something. It would switch between them, or there was some way to get between them. I can't remember what it was.
Because there was like a low punch, a high punch, and like a
Dick punch?
Yeah. Yeah.
because there was 3. Or was this like a low punch, medium punch, and like a high punch, and the
It's
same
like-
thing with the kicks?
Light, medium, heavy.
Okay, light, medium,
Yeah.
heavy. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, you needed to have 6 buttons.
Yeah.
So you would the Sega version, because I don't think I ever played the Sega version. So you'd have to like hold start or select
Or
to
something.
do.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but I just remember it being really frustrating. I mean, and like at the time when I was a kid, I was locked in, knew my moves. Like Guile.
Yeah.
Guile was my main.
I was gonna ask who your guy was.
Oh yeah.
Guile.
Guile. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as the games progressed, like Street Fighter Alpha came out, stuff like that, and I switched over to Akuma.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
he was pretty sweet. And then because they introduced like the hyper or super moves where you could do like powered up shit and
Is that for like for the turbo also, or is it just the alpha one?
I don't know. The turbo one had like I
They
can't,
had
I
4
can't
new
recall.
characters. There was like Cammy.
Yeah, DJ,
Yeah.
Cammy, oh god, who are the other 2? I'm drawing a blank. I can't
Yeah, I know.
remember.
Me too.
Yeah.
A Tomboy. I think you're on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we pay him for.
Nice.
While you're looking it up, Tomboy, were you more of a Super or a Sega kid?
I had a Super Nintendo. I didn't have a Sega.
Yeah.
So.
And you Street Fighter loved it, right?
Yeah, I mean, little did I got to play those games. Yeah.
But still, who was your person?
Oh, I mean, it was so random if I actually got to play those games.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
you
my parents were very like, hey, we're getting one game, and it's for the entire family.
Mhm.
So it's like, if my baby sister didn't want it, it's like, oh, you're not getting that one. I'm like, sweet.
It sucks.
Wish you were
So-
aborted.
I remember I asked my mom for I was a huge like Spider-Man fan growing up and stuff like that, and one of the games that came out on Super NES was Maximum Carnage.
I remember playing
Yeah,
that, dude.
Green Jello did the soundtrack for that.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Actually, I have it on my Spotify. I listen to it every so often. So
Nice.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I had a friend that had that game, and I'd go to his house, and we'd fucking like play that game. Like it was like a sleepover, just play that game like all night.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Like I didn't get I wasn't allowed to have it because my mom heard the name of it, knowing nothing about Spider-Man. She's like, "You want a game called Maximum Carnage?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's gonna be sweet." And she's like, no, like here, play Mortal Kombat instead. Like, oh, okay. Which is like way worse. Like especially then like
Yeah.
I'll just rip someone's head off instead
Exactly.
of play
It's
with
like, no,
Spider-Man.
Mom, I turned the blood off. I swear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's that Coke. You turn it into sweat or whatever.
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, you turned the blood on. Every
Yeah.
kid knew they could.
That was the argument with the Sega versus Super kids for Mortal Kombat. Everyone's like, Sega's way better because you had the blood code,
True.
and Super didn't.
And you had different fatalities too, because I think you had Sub-Zero's head rip off on Sega, but then on Super Nintendo you had the one where you just froze them and you like backhanded them and then like they shattered.
Broken. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, so they were. It's almost like they were allowed to be more gruesome on Sega.
Yeah, which is I don't know how that worked out.
Well, was
but-
Sega American?
Yes.
Is it?
I think.
Because
No.
Super's Japanese, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe they're just more censored on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But yeah, I just remember playing on Sega and then just seeing all the different moves, like, because I didn't have one. I was a Super Nintendo kid. I was just like, wait, you could rip his head off? I'm like, you can see his spine. I'm like, holy shit! Like,
Yeah.
So Sega was founded in Hawaii, but it was up in Japan in 1984.
Oh, so it started in America,
Yeah,
and then
doing the games.
Japanese took it
Yeah.
over. They bought it and
Yeah.
then bought it out. Okay,
Then made the console in the 90s. So
interesting. So that Japan had it definitely during Mortal Kombat times.
oh yeah,
So I don't know. That's weird. It's like having like HBO versus like TNT.
yeah, pretty much.
Super Nintendo was like the commercial breaks, and then like HBO was like, yeah, you get boobs and stuff.
Yeah.
The blood and gore, the cool shit.
I remember that they eventually ported over Doom to Super Nintendo, and like that, like I spent so much time playing that.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had when I was a kid, I didn't start when it first came out, but like I think issue like 50 on forward of Nintendo Power, I had like that magazine where it gave you all like the tips and tricks and everything.
Yeah.
And then I remember like
I think I still have one of those. When like it was like advertising Mortal Kombat 2 coming out soon.
oh nice, yeah. I can't remember which issue I had. I think it was like 50 or 51 on Ford. I see them on eBay all the time or whatever. People are just like selling them and whatnot. But I remember they had like this hotline in the back of the magazine where you could just go and call in for like tips and tricks and whatnot. And I remember playing Doom because I had my aunt had a PC where we like had Doom on it and whatnot, and they only had like the first like episode of it because the original Doom has like 3 episodes and
Yeah.
there's like expansions beyond that. But the first episode was pretty straightforward. But once you got to like the second and third, I never played those ones. But when I had it on Super Nintendo, it came with those ones.
Ah.
And so I'm trying to play it, and I'm just like getting slaughtered, like no idea what to do. And so I ended up calling that hotline in the back of the magazine, and like racking up a bunch of money on it. My parents were too happy about it. So I'm like, how do you beat this level? And some guy gave me like a play-by-play. He's like, stay on the east wall, go forward, turn left, go north. And like me as a kid, I'm like, what does this even mean? And is it left or right? And so he was just like, I had a feeling he was just kind of like speaking in terms that I wouldn't understand, so I would be on there longer to ask more questions.
Oh, maybe
I mean, it could be wrong.
because it was
but
probably at the time it was like $4.99 a minute or something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah,
what
I
900 numbers?
Yeah.
I think it was a 900.
It had to be,
yeah.
I don't remember exactly how much it was though, but I just remember getting in trouble for it because I did ask though, and my parents were like, yeah, sure, you can call this phone number, but I don't think they knew it was like a paid thing.
Yeah.
And then we had the landline, so it got charged of that. So
Yep. To your actual phone bill.
I actually saw that on a show. It was like one of those it was about the pharmaceutical rep, like catastrophe or whatever.
Yeah.
But the girl, like one of the main characters, was like calling in about video games. Like people did that. I'm like, I just didn't know about that. So I
yeah,
was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
Such a time.
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
it's like going back to our '90s stuff. It's like calling Mr. Movie Phone
Yeah.
to figure out what was playing.
What was
when,
playing? Yeah.
'cause you had no access to it.
Yeah. Unless you actually like went there or like drove past like a marquee or whatever to see like what was actually playing.
Or it was sold out, and you're like, "Fuck, all right, there's another theater.
Yeah.
What time are they playing? All right, do we have time to run over there?"
Do you guys remember like the first like any Super NES game that you played, or at least one that like really like we were like, holy fuck, this is insane. Like,
Super Mario World kind of blew me away because
Yeah.
I grew up playing like the original like Mario, and like Mario 3 was awesome on NES.
yeah.
But then like when seeing commercials for like the Super Mario World, and like you have a Yoshi, and then you can like eat stuff with them
Yep.
and like spit stuff back out, and like that blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, you could ride a fucking dinosaur, you can do all this, you know.
Did Yoshi come out with Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know. I couldn't remember if, like, he was like had a game with regular Nintendo.
Yeah, he was a Super Mario World, and I think there's 2 games that came out with Super Nintendo when you first got it. 'Cause
Was it All Stars?
no, it was Super Mario World and then F-Zero. So those are the original 2 games I think that were on Super Nintendo. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was like those 2 games were the only 2 options when it first came out.
Yeah.
So I got I don't know if I got a bundle or if they even had bundles back then, but I remember getting Super Mario World when I got Super Nintendo, and just playing the shit out of that.
Well, that's what they used to do with the systems back then, though. Like
Oh, yeah,
they don't do that.
it came
with,
out
like,
with a-
PlayStation and shit like that. But yeah,
Yeah, a launch title
if you exactly
that you have to get.
Yeah.
That's
So,
why everybody had Duck Hunt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original Mario. Yeah, you had Mario with the Duck Hunt.
and
Yeah, and then
that's
Super,
why everybody had it.
the Super Mario Worlds, and then or F-Zero.
Yeah.
Sega, I don't even know, or maybe
Sonic?
Sonic.
Probably Sonic,
Yeah,
if
that's
I
what I
had to
say.
guess.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I mean, they obviously cut that line off
I think
somewhat before
PlayStation.
PlayStation. Do you think were they
Maybe
still doing?
64.
Well, I was gonna say, did they do it with like GameCube, 64, or anything like
I
that?
don't remember. I never had either one, but
I never had GameCube. Like,
I hadn't either.
I had a 64, and then like after that, I kind of moved over to like PlayStation.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, like, cause I had friends that played like GameCube, and they played like the Smash Brothers on that. And
Yep.
I couldn't get down on that one. Like, I played the Nintendo 64 Smash Brothers. Like, I loved that game. All the
Mhm.
ones like beyond that, I'm like, I can't even tell what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
there's just too much shit on the screen. You know?
Yeah, those are fun. I only got to when people are like, dude, fucking Smash Brothers, this game's the best. Like when they I think when they brought it back out for like Switch,
Yeah,
and they made like a new one.
yeah. The Wii U.
Oh, it was probably
Yeah.
Wii. Okay, I forgot about the Wii.
Yeah, well, there's the Wii, then the Wii U.
What was the difference? Is that like an
The
the
upgraded
Wii
version?
U, nobody really had.
I
Okay.
actually had a Wii U, and my daughter, she's 6 now, like would play it all the time, and she would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna play Mario" and stuff like that. And so it was basically like the precursor to the Switch, but the controls on the side of it didn't like come off like a Switch would. So it was all like one unit, kind of like a Sega Game Gear kind of type
Okay.
thing, you know. And it had a couple games here and there, but like I think it was only on the market for like maybe like a year or 2 before they were like, all right, we're gonna make a Switch because it's just way better, you know.
Yeah, we can do the same thing with better
Yeah.
games and graphics and what have you.
So there's a few more launch titles with Super Nintendo.
So let me guess, because I feel like the All Stars was also one of them.
No.
Okay, I'll go fuck myself.
Super Mario World, F-Zero,
Yep.
Plot Wings,
What the fuck is
Oh,
that?
Pilot Wings.
Pilot Wings.
Oh
sorry.
man,
Oh.
yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
I never played it, but I
Uh,
remember it.
Gradius 3.
Gradius?
That's like a
Gradius 3.
Contra type shooting game.
I think
Is
so.
that what that was?
And SimCity.
Mm.
When launch titles.
Oh, actually, I feel like I do remember SimCity being one of them too.
Were you a
The other-
SimCity fan?
Back when it was like we were still playing on computers,
Yeah.
I was like, I did play one of them. Probably was SimCity. That I think that was like something we like. One of our computer classes like in school, and I was like, oh man, this is fucking cool as shit. And I played it for probably a while, but I think eventually I just stopped and
Yeah.
went back to the regular consoles.
Yeah. I don't think I ever got into SimCity. I'd hear about people modding it later and stuff like that, but I'm like, oh, it just kind of became a meme of sorts, But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I never got into that kind of game. Also, games that I never really got into were like RPGs when I was a kid. Probably because I didn't have that attention span.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause, like it was.
You had to buy the biggest fucking guide for it. Everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, who wants all that?
Well, my biggest hang up too is like, I was way into fighting games. So when you had like RPGs where you're like, are you gonna battle? You just you tell them like, oh, do this attack. Like I don't get to actually control them and make them
Oh,
do the attack.
the turn-based ones.
Yeah.
The turn-based
So like even like Pokemon or just
Final Fantasy.
Chrono Trigger or stuff
Yeah.
like that. I'm just like all right, this is boring. I mean, at the time I didn't like care about the story so much or anything. To get into
Right.
the lore. I mean, now that I'm older, I'm like, I've gone back and played some of those games. Like these are actually a lot of fun. you know?
Yeah.
So
A lot of them are a blast. There's actually, because like, there was a lot of them that I didn't really care for either, but my one uncle was a big gamer, and he used to play all of the Final Fantasy games.
yeah.
And I would sit and watch him play, you know, and I would think that like he's just fucking chain fucking smoking cigarettes like in his bedroom, door closed, just playing Final Fantasy 5 or whatever was on the Super.
Yeah.
And I remember like watching him like this kind of looks boring.
Yeah.
But then like also kind of intrigued, but once they came out with like what was the one? Like Illusions of Gaia or like Secret of Evermore. I remember tried playing those and I was like they were a little more fast paced and they were like way more fun.
Yeah.
And then I started kind of getting into RPGs. Not like right away, but when I found games later on as I got older, then I was like, oh, I remember when games were like this.
Yeah. I have a buddy of mine who you know, I have a Switch in my house and it has all the like the legacy game systems on there and whatnot, and he discovered like I think something like Dragon Quest like 4 or something like that. And like we were just all hanging out, it's a group of us, and he just like played that by himself, like as we're all like hanging out. And he like it started like a hobby with him where he just started going out and buying like old tube CRT like TVs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's got like a collection of TVs, and like he's in all these like different Facebook groups, like is the guy that like has tube TVs. If you need one, go to him kind of thing. And,
Oh.
but like he got like way into like you know, like all those old RPGs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was like name dropping a couple to me like I've never even heard of. I'm just like, dude, like, all right, well that sounds cool, but like I have no idea what you're talking about. you
Yeah.
know? But
I didn't dive that far back in.
yeah, there's a lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the closest I ever got to any kind of RPG, I don't even know if you would consider this an RPG, like, you know, Ocarina of Time. But I think that was on 64
Oh, yeah.
though. So,
Oh
but
yeah, that's because it's Zelda, right?
yeah, I did play the I think it was like the not the second Link, but a Link to the Past. Maybe?
That was the one
yeah.
for Super.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I revisited that not too long ago, and that game's a lot of fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, I was never really like a big Zelda kid growing up. Like I played them a little bit, but again, I think it's the same thing. That was like, this is slow and boring.
Yeah.
And I was used to fucking playing like Mortal Kombat and
Right. Yeah.
you know, fast paced and very stimulating. You know, Turtles in Time and shit like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Turtles in Time was fucking awesome.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a newer version on the Switch where it's like the same concept, but they kind of expanded on it. I can't remember what the title is, but my older daughter plays it and she like has a blast with it.
Good.
But yeah, Turtles in Time. I think that was that the fourth one? 'Cause there's,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Because there, like on the OG, there was like the fucking hard ass Ninja Turtles game. Then they had the Turtles 2 was the arcade one,
Yeah.
and then they made the third one, which was still arcade style. I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember that one for some reason.
Yeah, it wasn't like super popular, but it was
Yeah.
there. And then when they came out with Super, Turtles 4 is just Turtles in Time.
Was it that one or the second one where you like when you're fighting the Foot Clan, you can grab and throw them into the screen?
That's Turtles in Time.
That's Turtles Time. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. 'Cause I
Yeah.
remember that, and the first time that happened, I was just like, "Holy shit!" I just threw him at me. Like, you know?
Yeah, we didn't actually know how to do it, but me and my buddy, because he had it.
Yeah.
But we're like, oh no, if you hold the D-pad in one direction while you're punching
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
swing. I don't know if that actually works.
No, that's true. I think you
But-
hold like down or something like that, and,
Yeah.
and then you got to be close enough to him where you grab him, and then you hold down, which is the direction of the screen technically.
right.
So-
Yeah. And so then that would like throw them. We're like, yes, that was awesome. We got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget where we're just at all here. Just sidetracked myself.
Did you ever play Killer Instinct?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah. They when they ported it over to the Super Nintendo, they definitely had to like water down a lot of the aspects of it and stuff. I used to play that game in the arcade, and
That's where I started.
yeah, and like you could there was like different codes you could do where you could play as like one of the bosses, Idol, and I still remember it too. Like you pick Riptor, and then you on the as soon as you pick him, you hold left, light punch, light kick, medium punch, and then as soon as it gets to the versus screen, you hold right, medium punch, fierce punch, and fierce kick, and then like you get Idol. Yeah.
That's amazing. You remember that.
I'm surprised I actually did. Like it's like I used to spend so much time playing like some of these fighting games, like memorizing the button patterns and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Like when Mortal Kombat 3 came out and they introduced the brutalities,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
they didn't have any guides for like how to do them. So I remember sitting down playing them, and then I would play 2-player or whatever, and I get to like the fatality screen, and then I would guess like, okay, punch, left punch, right punch, something like that. All right, that didn't work. Left punch, right kick, like, and then I would
Just
just
trying
like,
different combinations.
yeah, I would spend so much time doing that and like would memorize the patterns and stuff, and then I'd figure out the brutalities in that way.
Yeah.
Like I spent way too much time doing that. But the good thing is doing stuff like that though. To me, like when I started playing like music as I got older, it was just kind of the same thing, just memorizing the number patterns
Yep.
kind of thing. So
Huh.
yeah,
Never really thought about that.
yeah,
It's actually really good.
because if you like, even if you don't know how to read music, you look at a fretboard or something like that, you just think of like, okay, 1 2 1 2 1 3
Yeah,
or something.
uh-huh.
Yeah, where what note
Yeah.
makes it by sound versus
Yeah. So
actually reading music.
So that's kind of how I derived that, like from playing so many video games, just memorizing stuff like that. So,
See, Mom, video games were good.
yeah, it's
Also,
good.
hand-eye coordination. right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for something there. So
Did you do you guys still have like any of the older systems at all?
I have a Sega. Well, technically, my wife has a Sega. Erin. She also has a Sega Saturn.
I
Yeah.
had one.
I think she has a Dreamcast too.
Never had a Dreamcast.
It's in a box in our closet somewhere. But it only works on like
Oh, I didn't have
like
a Sega Saturn. I had a Sega CD. But
oh
go on.
Sega CD.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's what she's got. I can't remember honestly. It's one of the ones that has she could play Warcraft 2 on it or something.
That I have no idea.
Yeah. But yeah, she has those, and I think I have a 64 as well with like the original Mario Kart for the 64 on there. But I don't think I have a Super Nintendo. Yeah, I think I ended up like giving that away to my sister-in-law when she was like 15 or something like that. She was like, can I borrow your Super Nintendo? And I wasn't using it at the time. I was like, yeah, you can have it, sure, I don't care. Wish I kind of had it still, but
Yeah.
Do you have any like systems?
I have Nintendo and Super Nintendo. I have to get back from my brother, but he's supposed to give that back to me.
Yeah.
But, because he's like, oh, try it with my TV. But I'm like, yeah, you can't just do it with a new, like, smart TV. You have to have an old TV with that.
yeah.
So that's Garrison's like Moldavort.
Yeah.
is really very strict on like he's like I can't play like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, right? He's like I can't. It's just lagging. You got to have like an old TV. You can't have like these newer ones. I'm like okay, whatever you say.
No, the emulators do lag real bad.
We would hook up like the actual system because I still have my Super.
Oh, okay.
And he's got an NES, so we
Nice.
would go through and play. So like I have my Killer Instinct, which is those were a black cartridge.
Yeah.
Compare the rest of them.
Yeah, Killer Instinct had a black cartridge. Doom had a red one. I think there was a gold cartridge for something. I can't remember.
GoldenEye?
Maybe.
GoldenEye had a gold one.
But
Well,
that was
Killer
a
Instinct,
64, right?
yeah, Killer
64,
Instinct did
yeah.
come out with a gold cartridge.
Did it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the black one,
Yeah.
and then they came out with gold ones that were like a rare one or something like that.
Mm.
But I do remember that.
Wasn't
coming out.
there Zelda that had a gold cartridge?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was that
The
Nintendo,
Nintendo,
though,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Zelda, yeah, they had a gold one too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to think of other fighting games we used to play. There's one called Primal Rage. You guys remember that?
I do remember
Mhm.
Primal Rage.
Yeah.
That one wasn't as good.
No, it was weird because they had a different dynamic where there was like, because you're like basically like almost like a kaiju large monster, and there's like
Yeah.
tiny people. Then you could just like grab the people and like eat them.
Yep.
And I think that gave you.
It was like
health.
dinosaurs, but it was like right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that like it was
It's
like
like
Street
apes.
Fighter, but with like
Like Contra?
no.
No, not Contra. Rampage.
Yeah. Kind of like Rampage,
Well-
but in a fighting game kind of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. But yeah, you're just like the historic, like
It's like prehistoric like animals. or
prehistoric.
something like that.
Yeah. So like apes and dinosaurs and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Not King Kong, not Godzilla, don't sue us.
yeah.
I was doing a joke earlier when you're like talking about like remembering all the codes and everything like that. I'm like, we can all remember all those codes and how to like beat levels and shit like that, but I can't tell you one phone number. Like,
yeah.
I can't tell you somebody's phone number.
Oh yeah.
I know mine. That's literally about it.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember some phone numbers from when I was a kid though. Like, I just got a memory like for
Yeah, but
Pattern
like
like
once
that,
those
so,
people
yeah.
moved out of their parents' house, it's like I don't know your cell phone number.
Yeah.
yeah.
You remember we used to have to use zip codes either or area codes.
Yeah.
You could just dial just like 353-0157 and that would just go to your friend's house. You
Yeah.
had to do.
I remember when 2 and 6 and 4 for row became like a thing.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
like, and they split between the two. That took some,
it was
that
a
took some
divide.
adjustment.
It was a civil war in the city.
Yeah.
What number are you? I guess I'm not cool. I'm a 440.
Yeah. It's like suburb kids versus Cleveland. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So,
What about Clay Fighters?
I played a couple of those. I remember, jeez, there's like the snowman guy. I think he had like a top hat or something that you could throw at him.
Yep.
It was like a buzzsaw or something.
Yeah.
No, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember the game, but I remember that guy.
Yeah, same. I mean, like I think I played a little bit. I used to play like all the Capcom games too, like Darkstalkers, and, like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom. I
Yeah.
used to play a bunch.
But I don't remember that was on Super Nintendo though.
No, I feel like that came out.
That might have been more like a PlayStation thing, but
Yeah,
can't
either
remember.
maybe 64, but I think you're right, PlayStation. Because I was also thinking, I was like, oh, what about like Soul Calibur? And I was like, no, that's like Xbox,
yeah,
PlayStation area. Yeah. No, that was also. I was thinking also like, what was it? Not Pie Fighter, Virtual Fighter.
Virtua Fighter. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that was later on to this because that was also an arcade game I used to play a shit ton of.
Yeah,
But
it was like that weird polygon clunky kind of
Yeah,
like Star Fox, but in fighting,
yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and Tekken, but I think that also was a PlayStation thing too. So,
Yeah. Who was your guys' go-to for Mortal Kombat?
oh geez, which Mortal Kombat?
Well, I guess you could.
The original one, I guess.
Yeah. Well, let's go down the line because you're right. There's let's go the first one.
OG Mortal Kombat, probably Sub-Zero.
Yeah, Sub-Zero.
I
Tomboy?
did Raiden a lot.
Raiden.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Mortal Kombat 2. This is when they start introducing like where you can do like the uppercut fatalities where they can
Yeah.
fall down into the pits, or there was like the acid pool.
Baraka.
Baraka. Oh,
Yeah.
that was good.
Was Jax in that one? Or
He
wasn't
was.
Jax? Is
Yeah.
that the one?
Yeah.
That's the one first one he was in, right?
Yeah.
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 It was the
Jackson
first.
too.
I
yeah.
think that's what I did. Yeah, it's because I was like,
Before-
oh, you're new. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was before he got the metal arms. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
he got
'cause-
that in 3, I think.
Yeah, because there's Baraka, Jax, and I think that's where they also introduced like Molina and Katana. Also, I think
Yeah.
those four were like the new characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that one.
I always feel like the roster is much bigger, but when you look back at it, it really wasn't.
Yeah.
It was like 12 people. Yeah.
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 Now you see like like the more modern ones are just it's just like
hey, we're bringing everybody into this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Now you
here's
have
72
Jason coming in.
characters. Yeah.
Fucking Homelander or whatever else.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody from
All
pop culture.
the horror ones. Yeah. They
Yeah.
got Jason and Leatherface and all that.
That's funny because like I actually had an idea years ago. Like it'd be kind of cool if someone took like a bunch of '80s characters like from horror movies and made it into a game, and then all of a sudden Mortal Kombat started doing that. I was like, well, shit, I missed the boat on that one. So, but yeah, I say Mortal Kombat 3 Smoke. Robo Smoke was like awesome, but then you can get human smoke too.
Yeah.
And you did that by holding on to LR left Y and X, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what
That
it was.
feels about right.
Yeah, because then you would do that, you'd like smoke, and then,
Yeah.
like,
It turned into the human
Yeah.
form.
because he had this way you can like because he had the same moves as Scorpion, but he also had like this like combo. I think you hit him with like a high kick and then uppercut, but then that would allow you to like follow up and jump in the air. So you like jump kick, teleport, punch him, hit him with the spear, kind of do the same thing, and you can almost turn into an infinite juggle. I could never
Yeah.
pull it off. I've seen people do it, but yeah, Smoke was like definitely, and I think he went invisible too. I think. So I know Reptile did, but
Reptile definitely went
Yeah.
invisible. I don't think that Smoke did.
Robo Smoke did, but I don't know if Human Smoke did.
Oh no, I just remember him doing just like the teleport, like the puff of smoke, and like teleporting to the other side.
Yeah, you do that, but there's I know with Robo Smoke you do that because then you do that thing you jump kick and you do the uppercut through the floor and then you hit him with
Yep.
and then I distinctly remember seeing that because you would see the smoke but you wouldn't see him.
Yeah.
Kinda thing.
Oh, maybe you are right.
For the Robo one at least. I don't know about the human one now I think back. But yeah, his was one of the first brutalities I think I figured out. And I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm going to surprise myself if I YYLAXYXBA, I think. I think. I could be wrong.
You're like the Rain Man of like
I know.
like-
it's kind of
cheat codes.
Somebody's in the comments. Nope, you're wrong. It's
Yeah.
if I'm wrong, please let me know because
Yeah,
I'm
please.
actually very curious to see if I like nailed that or not though.
Yeah,
so.
if you guys listening so far, if you guys know what these codes actually are. If John is wrong or if he's right, give him a good like high five. Congrats. Shoot us a text and let us know. 440-363.
0121.
Nice. I think that for Mortal Kombat 3, I loved Unmasked Sub-Zero because they were able to now run in Mortal Kombat 3. So I would had like a good like 6 to 8 hit combo where you like freeze and then you'd run and then you're just kind of hitting like it was like X like B A A Y Y X and it just like punch kick punch, like all these things and then like kicks them back and I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go. And I'll just do that over and over, piss everybody off.
Hell yeah.
But I also think I really like Cyrax too. Cyrax. You got that fucking net.
That net, yeah. And
Yeah,
then the
you
bombs.
can throw the smoke bombs. Yeah, I'd flip them.
Was
and then
Rain in that game too?
no, I think Rain came in Ultimate.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ultimate had a whole lot of different characters.
Yeah, they kept bringing new. Who would you have for 3?
I dropped off after 2.
Oh, okay, so you didn't play the third one?
Nobody had 3. So
Who
all,
was-
all the like neighborhood kids that would have had the better games than I did stopped playing games. So
Oh, did you say who your? Oh, Jax.
Jax,
Okay,
yeah.
that's right.
Now that I think about it, I think Smoke might have been in Ultimate. I don't know if he actually was in 3. So I could be wrong there.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go. You guys can text in and tell John that he's wrong.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think my go-tos. I also really liked Cabal. Also,
Oh, yeah.
Cabal was fun.
Yeah. Does he just like run past him and spin him and
Yep. And also, yeah, you got those hooks. Yeah, you can do a lot
Yeah.
of sweet fucking combos.
Yeah.
And then was 3's the one they started bringing in like friendship, and then that was the brutalities, right?
Yeah, and the animalities
And
the
animalities,
babalities.
yeah, that's right, babalities, yeah.
You could do the thing when you beat it in like one of the harder modes. You would get like it's called like the Supreme Demonstration, and it would show you everybody's fatalities, babalities, animalities, brutalities. It would go through the whole thing.
Sick.
Yeah, I remember doing that and just like it was hard to get to it, but it was all, like well worth it because you just sit back like with pride, be like, yeah, check all that out.
Was
both sides of smoke were in 3.
They were?
oh, okay, so it was
Okay.
3. Okay,
So I was right.
nice. Yeah.
All right.
I did also wasn't like in 3 the first time too, where you can like press pause and like they had like a move list you can check out.
I don't
Did they do that in
remember.
3, or was that maybe like Ultimate when they first finally? Because I know one of them they finally started doing that.
I can't. I can't remember. I do recall pausing it, and then the characters kind of like going off the screen, and you would just see like pause flashing, and then you would unpause, and then the characters would reappear.
Yeah.
So, and I remember doing that because like, or trying to like pause it in like in the middle of like a combo or move or something like that, and like I think they did that so people would like not like just like spam people with like pausing and being,
Yeah.
like, So, yeah, I don't remember the move list though.
I feel like that could be wrong.
4.
Oh, it's on
4?
4.
Yeah.
4
Okay.
had the move list.
So Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it was it Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 and then 4, where was Ultimate?
There's Trilogy then. There's Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which was like a combination of like Ultimate, and then also included all the bosses like Shao Kahn, Motaro.
Yeah.
Them. And then I think 4 is when they start doing like the kind of like the 3D thing.
Where you can kind of move up and
Yeah.
down, like around the room.
I think that was in 4, and then they introduced like the individual character styles, where like one would fight in Wing Chun, and another one would be in like Hapkido or something, and
And they had like the bald guy with like he kind of looked like
Quan Chi.
yeah, I think that's who it was. He kind of looked like the God of War dude, but like darker colors.
Yeah, he's like the sorcerer kind of dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's big in the franchise like later too.
No.
So, but yeah, after I think like maybe like the 4th one, I kind of like fell off playing Mortal Kombat for a while, and then
Yeah, same.
yeah,
It
and
wasn't.
then I
Oh,
got
go on.
back to I picked up 1 the other day just for the fact that they have all like different characters, and like I think the T1000 was recently released on it,
Sick.
which is it's different and weird, but like it's kind of cool. I played for a few minutes. I have a buddy of mine who like plays it, and he's like he'll come over and like we'll play like maybe 20 matches. I'll win 1.
Yeah.
And he just slaughters me, and I think he lets me win just so that way, like, I won't just like
Just
quit.
Fuck this.
Yeah,
Rage quit.
yeah, because he's one of those guys when like he'll pick a character like on random, he'll hit you once, and then that's it, and you're just juggled for the rest of the match, and you're like, okay, well, I guess.
Well,
I'm
this
done.
is zero fun.
right. Yeah. He's like, you want to play again? I'm like, all right. I mean, I'll get lucky once in a while. Either that or he's letting me. I don't know. I can't tell. So.
What about these were ones that were fun and hard. I guess let's start with Lion King.
Oh
Did you
yeah.
play Lion King?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. My grandma had a Super Nintendo in her basement, and she had Lion King, Aladdin,
I was gonna bring up Aladdin
yeah,
next.
and then some like PGA golf game that we never played.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Lion King was super hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I got past like the first or second level, and it was one of those games where I'm like, okay, I did this part, now I'm done. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Because there was like the tough part is like when you gotta get tossed around by the giraffes,
Yeah.
right? Which is a fucking pain in the ass.
yeah.
And then if you were able to make it into like the graveyard, that was also with the hyenas and shit. That shit was
Oh,
fucking.
yeah.
That's
also-
as far as I've ever made it. I was just like sleepover, and everybody's like, "All right, we're gonna just keep going until we get there." And it's like, "All right, well, we're done."
Yeah, this is as far as we can get.
Yep. We saw the movie. We know how to.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Yeah.
Yeah, those were fun and tough. And Aladdin, I think I beat Aladdin.
I
don't remember if I beat.
I don't
Lion
think
King,
I
though.
beat Aladdin.
Was Aladdin? I know Sega Genesis had it, but I wasn't sure if it was like the first time you can like actually like grab the ledge and pull
You
yourself
s-
up
Yeah, and then,
instead of like you just automatically fall. Like I was like, this is awesome technology.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember if you had that on Super Nintendo or not.
I don't
I
remember.
know in
I-
Genesis you could.
I feel like there was some sort of difference between Sega and Super for this game, but I just don't remember if it was that or if there was just something else as far as
levels.
or weapons. Yeah, something.
I never played that on the Sega, so
I feel like I
You were able to pull
somewhere
yourself
down the
up.
line.
So you were pulling yourself up like if you
I'm pretty sure you could do it on the Super also.
okay.
I do recall that, like, you know,
That was like the first time you're gonna
mechanism.
ever do that in any game. I'm like, I was so
Like, you're not dead, yeah.
yeah.
Man, I remember playing also Battletoads. Like, I can never get past like the second level. Like,
you got the second level. You're God.
Like a regular Battletoads or Battletoads Double Dragon?
oh, the regular
Oh.
Battletoads. I never played the
Oh.
Double Dragon one.
Okay, well we can get into the regular Battletoads first. I feel like, I mean, every system has like the hardest game, especially for like Super or like Nintendo games were like the hardest games, which you
Yeah.
would think that they wouldn't be because you have 2 fucking buttons, right?
2 buttons and they're cartoon characters, so you're like thinking, oh,
Yeah,
this is
this
easy
should
game.
be simple. Yeah, those games are so fucking
Oh, it's a
hard.
Disney game. Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Nope.
But then you get to Super, and like they weren't like as fucking hard, but like still like when you got like Battletoads, like you have to be fucking like
Yeah. I never got past the second level. It was I think that was the one where you had like the race, and a lot of it was just memorizing the levels. But like
yeah.
back then, I didn't really care to do that. I tried like moving about, like all right, because I thought it was different every time. I didn't realize it was just the same pattern. But like you'd hit like one of those like little blocks that pop up and when you're on like that jet scooter
Like the
thing.
motorcycle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could never get past that part. It was so hard.
Those were tough. And then you're right though. You had to remember like, oh, this happens, or I got to jump over this, and then I have to be at the bottom because there's spikes or something coming through at the top, and that's all it really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Super Star Wars, and that was damn near
Didn't
impossible.
play that one.
I
Same
didn't play
thing.
that one.
Yeah, they were all impossible. All right.
Never beat one.
No, never got past like the second level, maybe. That's why I never really played too much of the Super Nintendo. I'm like, well, if I can't beat the second level, whatever.
Yeah. I really want to go back and play through some of these, and I still have the Battletoads Double Dragon, but I don't know if it's going to be that ridiculous because we don't have a tube TV anymore. But
So what kind of game was that? Like I remember seeing it, but I never played it.
so it's essentially it's a Battletoads game because like Double Dragon was also like that side by side.
Yeah, like the
that-
beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it was kind of Battletoads, but Battletoads was a little more ahead of that time. But it's a game, but the thing is, you can choose to either be a Battletoad or a Double Dragon to play through the game. But it's the same shit. Like you start off in outer space and you're on the ship, and the shitty thing is that you can accidentally hit your teammate, like damage them by
Oh,
and
yeah.
like that's fucked. Because there's so many times you're caught up and like it's same thing like when like in Turtles in Time, like you could start beating them and you can grab them and start doing like they accidentally grab you and you're like, stop hitting
Yeah.
me, like let go. They're like, well, I don't know how to let go. And they just keep punching you until they throw you up against the screen. And it's like, what the fuck?
I told you I wanted that pizza for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had same things where you had to, like the levels with like those like motorcycle things and just moving around like the ship. It's just
Oh, okay.
hard as fuck.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I never played that one. Was Streets of Rage a Super Nintendo game?
I think that was.
Yeah, because I was that also one where you can do like friendly fire kind of thing, where you like, beat up the wrong guy kind
Yeah,
of thing.
I think so.
Yeah, I remember playing some game like that too, and being like, man, that sucks. Like, there was also the X-Men game too, which was like a beat 'em up game. But I don't remember if that was also one where you accidentally hit the,
Are you talking
in
about
your
like
team.
the arcade style X-Men one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that one, no, you can't hurt your
Oh, okay.
team. Yeah, it was like Colossus and Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Wolverine. Yeah. You can't. You can't hurt yourself, like, or your teammate or whatever on that
Yeah.
one.
I always
Yeah.
thought that was like, I'm like, okay, like I know that would take like a certain level of skill to be able to like play the game multiplayer, but like if you're just trying to have fun and like with a friend of yours, it's just very easy. Like you can end some friendships.
Oh
like-
yeah. Oh yeah. No, there's definitely times in certain games that playing with like my like best friend growing up, there's definitely some games that we would rage quit on.
Oh man, this kid that used to live up the block from me. I remember being over his house playing Mortal Kombat, and he was fighting Goro, and he was getting so mad. He's like, "Come on, let me win, let me win, let me win!" And like he lost, and like Goro does his like flex thing. Dude's like starts like kicking his tube TV, just like bam, bam, and you see like lights and everything kind of
Oh my
flickering.
God.
And I'm just like, I gotta go home now. Like, I'm like, this is not that serious.
We
man.
never got that aggressive, but it would
Yeah.
be like something stupid like playing like NBA Jam,
Oh man.
right? I'm like, we'd be on the same team, obviously, like working our way through the whole tournament, and like it'd be like in the fourth quarter, you're able to shatter the backboard. But it's only the fourth quarter, but if you're just by dunk. So like it would be like taking turns, like, all right, you try dunking, and if you don't do it, then I get the ball the next time. But then it would be like the one person like wouldn't pass it to let them have a turn to dunk on it. And if it would shatter, like, you fucking asshole, dude, like that was supposed to be mine. Like it was my turn. And just like, fuck you, throw the controller down and like leave the room.
It's Russian roulette for Super Nintendo.
Man, NBA Jam. Like, I never really got too much into sports games, like, as a kid, because I was just like, if I want to go play sports, I'll go play sports outside. But when NBA Jam and I think, like, NFL Blitz came
But I mean,
out...
you could also be like playing bad dudes, outside beating people up.
Sure, I guess
I'm just
so,
kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
You guys want to play Double Dragon?
No, I don't play Drill Dragon anymore.
That was a different part of my life.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying.
Oh, yeah. But no, just the fact that you could, like, modify the characters with codes where, like, you'd be on fire or, like... So I think on Blitz, you could do, like, other things like that where you would just, like,
Yeah.
like...
Big head mode and
Yeah.
Like that like made me want to play sports games. So I'm like, all right, because like,
gives you fuck around with them.
Yeah.
because it's just like, okay, because you can go play regular sports and stuff, but then I can't light myself on fire and like make my head big and jump like halfway across the court. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like so I was like really into those kind of games. But then other games that came out like Madden and whatnot, I was just like,
Boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came up with those dumb multi-million-dollar ideas. If people want, like, if the NBA really wants to get people in, just do a own feed of without the announcers and just put NBA Jam announcers the whole time.
Oh, that would be sick.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, I'll watch the playoffs. Fuck yeah.
That'd be sweet, yeah.
Yeah, I'll turn it to ESPN 3
Yeah.
for you're on fire and
Yeah.
can't buy a
He's
bucket.
on fire. Heating up.
Yeah.
You're
I
onto
also-
something there.
I remember in NBA Jam TE is where you were able to put in the codes where you can be different characters.
Oh, I don't
Like
remember that.
Yeah, so you could be there was like Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton.
What?
You could be the Beastie Boys, Will Smith.
On Super Nintendo?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember
And
that.
what's funny too.
I remember like that for like later systems, for like the wrestling games were like that. Like you
NBA
get
Jam started this shit, son.
I'm sure they
Yeah,
did.
Yeah. Like and remind me after we're done with the episode. But the magazine I was telling you about that I have somewhere, it might even be in this room. But the magazine was like, I remember reading it on the bus. I was like 5th or 6th grade, but it's like, oh, dude, Mortal Kombat 2 is coming out soon. This is gonna be awesome. But further in the magazine, they had a list of the codes you could punch in. So like, remember when you start the game and you have to like push in like your initials,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you'd have to put in a certain like 3-letter word,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to punch in like a quick little cheat code, and then that would unlock the character. And
This
then
is
you'd
not
be
a
able
Game
to.
Genie thing.
No, this is strictly just cheat codes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do remember that for like other things, but I don't remember like unlocking like Bill Clinton. No.
Yeah, and that same magazine they had those. So remind me after this episode's over, and I think if I can find it. If not, I'll find it later and send a photo to you guys. But
Yeah.
it was in one of those like game player magazines, and yeah, that was, like I remember like buying that and I was like, holy shit! I went to my buddy, I'm like, dude, look at all these people we could be, and like they're also throwing like people that like made the game. You could be them too.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
whatever.
Dude, I'm the colorist.
yeah. Yeah, but NBA Jam was fucking sick.
Did you ever play Shaq Fu?
Oh my gosh, I was gonna bring that up.
I wanted to so bad, but nobody had
It
it.
was pretty. It was pretty bad from what I remember.
Oh, I'm sure it
It
was.
was,
It was-
terrible.
but Shaq
and it
was so awesome
hard
back
as
then.
shit. Yeah, it was, and that's why we wanted to play it. But it's just like not good Mortal Kombat, but with Shaq.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was just like glitchy and just like the timing was like weird. you know,
Yeah.
like
And anytime you tried doing like moves or like the special moves or finishing moves or whatever, like it never worked.
No.
It was
Yeah.
fucking. It was hard as shit too.
yeah, I think I rented it once. Like I loved when we had like rental stores where you go and just like rent games, try them out, and take them back or whatever.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I think I rented that one once and played it a little bit. I was like, okay,
Yep, that sucks. Take it back.
yeah,
What about Donkey Kong Country?
oh yeah.
Loved Donkey Kong Country.
There's a warp that I discovered which wasn't even in any of the magazines. Like as far as I know, when you're playing like in the first board where you're going down, you start at like Donkey Kong's house and you go down through. Right before you go to the next board where you go off the screen, it's like the bottom of the screen and you go to the right. When you're walking around those bends on the pathway, I think you like smash on B or something like that, like really fast. And if you do it just right as you're going around one of the turns, it'll warp you all the way to like orangutan country. It'll take you like way into the game, and you just like start there then. So then
Whoa.
you skip like all this shit. And there's like one other warp that's like that too. I don't remember what it was, but like I remember doing that, and I was just like waiting for the game to start. I was like, all right, I'm just pressing the button as it happened, and all of a sudden it's like I'm in an orangutan country. I'm like, well, fuck, well, how did that happen?
Mhm.
So and then I was able to like do it again, and like I don't remember, it's like because I remember it's like the first turn it's like a box shape, like you walk left down and then go to the right. And I don't remember if it's on the first angle or the second one, but one of those ones you just smash on B and it warps you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try this out. Now I'm getting excited and I want to hook the super back up.
Busted it out.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah, those games were so fucking fun. And actually, hold on, before I get into this, I think it's hilarious because I do it also, and you probably do as well, Tomboy, but still calling the levels boards.
Yeah.
Board 1, board 2, or you get
Yeah.
to the next board. Where the fuck did that come from?
I'd never called
Tabletop
them boards.
games, like you're on the board, Like if
yeah.
you're playing something like Candyland, you're on the board, and it's kind of the same idea.
Just
you
from,
know?
but they're like different levels for each of the.
Yeah, it's just like you're playing on this board, and now you're on this board, you're on that board.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's
So-
interesting. That's okay, because I still do that to this day.
Yeah,
Like I'm like, oh, look on the first board, second board.
yeah. I just think it's because if you grew up playing board games, and then it's just the language kind of translated into video games because it's virtual versus like physically in front of you. Kind
Yeah.
of thing. So I think that's where that came from.
I feel like I just picked it up from like my dad or uncles or whoever was playing, and it just stuck with me ever since. I never really thought about it until now. I'm like, where that actually probably came from.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's I'm pretty sure that's where it's from. I mean, I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's from now.
Yeah,
It's decided.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's official.
side note code thing. This is Nintendo related, but on Mega Man 2, if you had a second controller while you're playing it, you can hold right on the D-pad on the second controller, and if you're playing Mega Man and you fall into a pit, you could jump back up and you'll jump like off the screen and back out. So if you were like playing a level and you fell into a pit and you're holding right on the second control, you'll bloop, you can jump right back out.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's amazing, the little things. Did you guys know that?
Where was this in 1990s?
Yeah. Did you guys know that in Duck Hunt, that if you're playing with a 2-player game, that this other person that's not shooting can actually control the direction of the birds or the ducks?
I think I recall that, but I didn't remember it until now.
Yeah, like if one person's has the gun, and your friends like they have the controller there, like because they're just waiting for their turn.
Mhm.
But on the D-pad on the controller, they can actually hit left and right to control which way the ducks are going.
I can't kind of remember that now, but the problem was people would put the gun up, let out, right against the TV and block the whole up.
Oh
so you can't see it.
Yeah.
I just found that out like in the last
Because it wasn't
year. and I
working for the last few years of his life.
was
Like,
yeah.
no, you got it like right up on the TV. Now I'm just like, I'll kill you if you touch my TV like that.
Yeah. I wonder if those guns would still work on like these new TVs.
I wish they would.
I don't think they will.
Huh.
There's
I
something
mean,
with
they
the
make
tube
guitars
TV.
work, like for like Guitar Hero and all that shit. So,
It's
Yeah, but
something
that
to
came
do
out
with the
later.
actual
Yeah.
the firing mechanism. I can't remember what it was. I think it had something to do with like the gun would like pick up on the cluster of pixels within the frame when you have it like when you pull the trigger, and something would happen where it would like know whether or not there's a duck there, or depending on the pixel cluster, and then it would register it that way. I'm butchering it, but it's something to that effect.
I mean,
in
I
the-
get it.
in the
Yeah,
yeah, it
tube
would
TV.
pull like a mirror or whatever. So
Yeah,
see
or
it.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something to do with the modern TVs, like not having the same kind of like, the tube glass kind of screen, so it doesn't work or something. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Did not know that. But back to Donkey Kong Country.
yes.
Loved it.
hmm
And then even when like the second one was fucking sweet also.
The second
those-
one was awesome.
I used to play the shit out of both of those games. Like
Yeah,
and like I felt like I would figure out like all of like the secrets for like
the banana coins and all that.
yeah, and like
yeah.
you find like the barrels that'll shoot you like across like the level and then like bust you out into like a bonus part of the level.
yeah.
Like the secret, like the red, the one up like balloons, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Love those fucking games.
Did you ever play the third one?
I think so.
This one with the it's like Trixie Kong, and then there's like it's like the baby Kong. I can't remember the
Diddy,
It's not Diddy. It's like
because the second one it was Diddy and Trixie.
Diddy and Trixie, and the third one was like Trixie and like a baby version of like Donkey Kong. It was like it was some sort of ape. It wasn't a monkey. It was,
So maybe I didn't play this one.
yeah, I can't remember what that one is, because there's like a different mechanism with that one, because like, you can pair up on the second one by like throwing each other. Trixie had her hair that could spin.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
you can float across different levels.
Yeah, the third one had, I can't remember the name of that one, but I didn't play that one very much, but all those are on like the Switch and stuff now, so
So you can go back and play them.
yeah.
Damn, that rules.
Yeah, I actually introduced my oldest daughter to that, and she was playing Donkey Kong for a while, and then gave up because it was really hard. I'm like, yeah, these games weren't easy, man. They were pretty unforgiving sometimes,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, it was called Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Yeah, you're right. It did have like a smaller version of like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it was like a baby or something.
So yeah, I did not play that one. But what I also did love is like when you're able to use like the animals, or
Oh,
like you got
yeah.
like the spider or like
The
the rhino,
ostrich.
the ostrich,
Yeah.
the fish. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Which animal is your favorite?
I liked either the spider
Mm.
because you're able to use the web and get up to like high
Yeah.
points, or just fun to use the fucking rhino and just kind of bash through everything.
Yeah.
And there's
That was
also
my
when you
favorite.
had those like the secret areas, you can tell it like the walls like scratched. You can use
Just
his
run
like
through it.
Yeah.
I like the frog and the snake. Just the
Oh,
way
yeah.
you could just jump like super high with that thing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You hold down the button and the snake would go do this like, and then you just like launch up in the air.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I think that was in the second one though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them were Tomboy,
Oh, it was the Rhino all the way.
Rhino. Yeah.
I didn't get to play much of it. Like it was either rental or at a friend's house. So I
Mhm.
was like, all right, this is fun, but yeah. Mom boy wouldn't pay for it. Video
Fucking
games.
mom boy. What about here's like the I feel like is one of the tops, right, for Super Nintendo, Mario Kart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Surprised we haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, same. Mario Kart, like that's I still to this day I think that the Super version is the best one.
Yeah. Plus, like, that game was sweet because like it allows you to cheat by jumping over courses or something, or with like a feather, like you can like hop over a wall.
Yep.
And then like I remember Nintendo Power Magazine had like best times for different courses, and people would like take screenshots and submit their times, like so they could like get in the magazine and all
Mhm.
that stuff. I remember there's a picture of me. I played like one of the ghost courses, which I actually beat one of the times, and I had my mom take a picture of it, and I was wearing like this oversized 9-inch nail shirt, and like I had this like bowl haircut, and I'm like pointing at the screen, and she took the picture with a flash on, and you couldn't see it.
Oh no.
Oh.
And then it got developed later, and I was like really excited.
Yeah, that was the problem with like you had to go take it to the store,
That's
get
what I
it
was-
developed,
yeah.
and you're like, yeah, then we have to do it all over again. And
Yeah,
well,
you can see Yoshi kind of on the screen, but you can't see the time. But then you see my geeky asses like, like,
Oh,
look what I
man.
did.
Yeah.
that's a fucking album cover right there.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I was just gonna bring that up too. Like, it's not like today where you can just use your cell phone and just like you
Or
had to
just
have
say,
like a
like,
disposable.
Hit this button and it'll, submit it online.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You actually had to take the photo,
Get
wait
it
until the
developed.
whole thing was the camera's full though.
Unless
and
you're
then,
real rich and get a Polaroid.
True.
That's the only
Right,
one.
yeah.
Then
to
you
do.
have to go get it. Yeah. Then go get it developed. Then you have to mail it in. Then wait for a response.
I was so bummed, and I tried doing it again, and I couldn't.
Of course.
Yeah. I was just like, I was still bummed about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think like the 64 one's cool. I played the one on Wii a little bit. I think I played the little one on Switch a little bit, but the Super one, I fucking destroy at that one.
I loved that game.
Who's your guys' writer?
Yoshi?
Yoshi.
Yeah.
I didn't play till much later in life with the so I played on the Switch and the Wii.
Okay, so you didn't play the Super one?
No,
Oh man.
not until now where I'm playing him like on emulator. But
Yeah, you can go back and play
Yeah.
on those. Yeah.
The
What-
problem with the emulator is like, I think I said this during the Nintendo one, but I was like trying to play the Zelda one on 64 because I'd never had one.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, yeah, let's try this. And then it got to the point where it was like, hit the Z button. I'm like, there is no Z button.
Oh, yeah,
And I'm like,
right.
I guess I'm done.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. I was like, I know this game was supposed to be really good, but I never got to play it.
Damn, that sucks.
Damn, that does suck.
I don't want to pay for, whatever kind of fake controller for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not worth it just for the
No.
one game.
There's like I found a couple of websites where you can like hook up like a PS4 control to like if you have like a Mac or a PC or whatever,
Yep.
and you play in browser
Yep.
certain games. I remember finding an old like turn-based alien game called XCOM. They have them all in like on some website. I can't remember where it's at or what the URL is. I mean, you can Google and find it. It's pretty easy to find. But there was some other site that I came across where people took the original Mario game, and I think this is before they started doing like Mario Maker stuff, and then they just modded it and made it really fucking weird. Like just like changing the game around where it's like it's not really Mario, it's just like some weird X-rated thing. You're just like, oh, wait a second, I wasn't
Yeah,
prepared for
Mario
this.
2. Let's go Mario 2.
Yeah.
They used to do that with Doom also, where they would mod the games.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
You could play like Simpsons Doom, stuff
Yeah.
like that. I recently just on a PS5 got a copy of like Doom, and with I didn't know this, but like on PS5 you can like mod some of the games when you're playing them. If you get the original Doom like package on there, it has all the different mods that you can like download. So you can play Simpsons Doom, Dragon Ball Z Doom. What else is in there? There's a whole bunch of different ones like Pokemon Doom. Like
Yeah.
like me as a kid, I was such a nerd. I played Doom so much, like I was making my own levels and like swapping out the people's faces on the demons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I put like my like sisters and uncles in the game. They'd be like running around trying to bite you or whatever. So, anyways, that's a PC tangent there. So
Fuck you, Uncle Mike.
Yeah.
yeah, shoot Uncle Bob in the head and watch his head explode. you know?
I love some of those emulators now. They did Skyrim, like it's a giant dragon, but it's Macho Man Randy Savage's head.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. I'd pay for this just for that.
There is a Doom mod for Tim Allen where everything everything in the game is Tim Allen. Like the walls, the textures, the guns, that it was funny. I had a friend send me check this out, a YouTube video of like the Tim Allen Doom. I'm like, oh yeah, that's episode 2, Shores of Hell. The first level. She's like, how could you tell what that fucking is? It's just Tim Allen. I'm like, yeah, I'm a nerd.
Did you guys ever play the Mario Kart drinking game?
No, what's that?
So
I did as an adult, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
okay, so the way that it works is that everybody has a beer before the race starts, and you basically had to have your beer finished before
You crossed
you
finish
cross
line.
the line, the finish line
man.
for the final lap, because there's usually four laps, right? There's like
Three or four.
three, yeah.
Three
I
laps.
think 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
So before you cross the finish line for your final lap, you had to have that beer finished.
Oh man.
So the thing, how it works though, is that you can only drink your beer when you're not driving. So you can either, when the lights go off, like the green light, like the go,
Yeah.
you can just hurry up and chug your whole beer and then try to catch up and race, or you can try to hurry up and get ahead and lap everybody, and then you have to park in front of the finish line, drink your whole beer or whatever's left, and then cross the finish line. Or you can go through, pause, chug some, and then keep going,
No,
stop,
you can't
chug
pause.
some.
You can't pause. That
Well, I didn't know you set you just stop.
Oh, yeah.
You just stop where you are. I don't mean pause, but yeah, you just set the controller down
Well, it's-
or whatever.
It's just
Stop.
safe driving. You don't want to be drinking and driving.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that's the whole thing, though. It's like
Yeah.
it's a not drinking and driving,
Yeah.
but you have to. Yeah, it's the first one that has their beer finished and crosses the finish line.
you
It
get
doesn't-
real fucked up by the third race.
yeah. But that's the whole game.
No, I've not played that. That would floor me. Sounds fun though.
Yeah, it was fun. It's something we used to do like in our early 20s. We still had like a shitty enough TV that we hook up the Super and then
Yeah.
let's fucking do it, boys.
Everything's a drinking game when you want it to be.
You're not wrong.
True.
So I'm right.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
What about Zombies Ate My Neighbors?
Never played that
Never
one.
played it.
No,
No.
that was a lot of fun. That was like, you're just basically you're like a kid character, and you have like squirt guns, and you just have zombies running around like backyards, and you have to the neighbors are just kind of sitting there. It's like the guy that's like sitting in the swimming pool, or like a cheerleader that's jumping on like a trampoline, but you have to touch them,
Yeah.
and it clears them out of the level, and you have to collect all of them before the zombies eat them. And once they're all gone, then a portal opens up and you finish the level. But it's if you're running to get to the one person, and then the zombie's already eating them, you're like, fuck, I'm out on that one. So you don't get the full points for it, but it just goes through all the different levels, and it gets harder and harder with more neighbors and harder zombies. But that
Yeah.
one was fun as shit.
I
Did you
remember seeing it. I never played it though.
you guys ever get to the new emulator one? The new Super Nintendo or Nintendo one that they put out a couple years ago. You plug it into your TV and it's got all the games preloaded. It's
Oh,
basically
yeah,
an
yeah.
emulator.
Oh yeah.
But it's got the old controllers and shit.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
those. Yeah, those are sick.
There was
I didn't play the Super one. I played the Nintendo one, but it's a lot of just shitty Japanese games and
Yeah.
not a lot of there's
And-
only a
and the
handful
cord's,
of the good.
Not that far away from the TV.
Yeah, it's a foot long. Yeah, I
There's
didn't
some,
play the Super
there's
one,
some
though.
kiosks at the mall you'll go to, and people have those set up.
Mhm.
I guess there was something recently where people were selling a bunch of those, but then they had all these crazy like X-rated adult games on the back of the list, and people bought these things for their kids, and then the kids are going through them and playing. They're discovering this stuff.
Oh.
There was some lawsuit about it or whatever. I'm like, that's crazy.
I know me and my buddies will play King Griffey Jr. baseball on the emulator like that.
Oh, was it the winning run where you could do the home run derby?
Yeah.
That was the best fucking
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, we just
I did play
hooked
that
up.
one. That one's fun.
Yeah,
That
we
was
just
a
hooked that one up,
blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are so cool.
My buddy hooked it up on his TV on his deck, and we just sat outside and drink and
Mm-hmm.
play in the summer. It's hell yeah.
Yeah, and I think at that one too, they weren't only had Ken Griffey as in the actual name, and I think
Everybody else is made up,
had
yes.
fake
No matter
names.
what, yeah.
But you can tell because
Who's
for,
supposed to be who? Yeah.
yeah, because for Frank Thomas, it was
Tom Frank.
yeah, or Freddie John,
Yeah.
something but he's got a fucking White Sox jersey, and he's a gigantic black dude, super ripped. You're like, that's definitely Frank Thomas.
That's like NBA Jam. It's no, you couldn't be Michael Jordan because
No, Jordan
Yeah.
wasn't in it.
Jordan was in what I think the second one though.
No, unless there, I don't know if there could have been a cheat.
But we
code
had a
to have
row.
him.
We had a rule. It was no Bulls. You
Oh
couldn't be
yeah,
the
Bulls. Oh, yeah, because you had Scottie
Scottie
Pippen,
Pippen,
Yeah.
Tony Kukoc, Rodman. Oh, actually, I don't think Rodman was in there.
No, Robin
Maybe.
would have been.
I do remember Pippen. I don't
Horace
remember.
Grant.
Yeah, it was Pippen and Grant. because
Yeah, and
you couldn't be Jordan.
Kukoc. Yeah. But I don't think that they. Hey, you might want to look this up, but you might have been able to put in a cheat code for Jordan, but he wasn't in the actual game.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, I think there was a cheat code for
Okay.
Jordan. But yeah, it was the rule was no Bulls.
Yeah, that's fair. But here's the deal, though. In the 90s, right? Every basketball team, and probably actually all the sports, that there was always like
Two
rock
guys.
stars. Yeah, there was rock stars on every team, and that's what made it fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You got Bulls versus Charlotte Hornets, right? And you got
Yeah,
Larry
Muggsy Bogues
Johnson,
and Larry Johnson.
Bogues, yeah. Yeah, you had those guys, right? Then you like get
The Suns. With
yeah,
Barkley,
with Barkley.
And that other guy.
Yeah, it was the white dude. I'm trying to remember what the hell his name was.
Mike.
Yeah, like Sean Kemp on Supersonics, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like Robinson,
Hardaway and
Hardaways. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Shaq was another one that they didn't allow in that game.
I don't think Shaq was in the league at that point.
Oh, he was.
Was he?
Yeah, but so I'm saying like the big boys like Jordan and Shaq were not in
Well, I
those
mean,
games.
all the other ones were in there.
Yeah, but they weren't fucking like
was Larry Bird in?
no.
No, Larry
Bird-
Bird was out of the league by then.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he might have already been out.
Ah.
But yeah, but like Jordan was like numero uno.
Yeah.
Shaq, I mean, he was averagely good, but he was just a monster. You know what I mean? Like his free throws and,
I was gonna say the rest of the guys
and
from
three pointers.
the rest of the guys from Space Jam were in it.
yeah. Yeah, but like, yeah, they didn't have any like the big dudes in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the show was fun.
Hell yeah.
Did you ever play Bart's Nightmare?
For a little bit, yeah, I remember.
That was such a weird game.
Bart's Nightmare.
It's
I feel like I
Everybody's an alien, right?
no.
he falls
that one was on
asleep.
Nintendo.
Oh,
He falls asleep and then like there's like two. You're
Bart
presented with-
versus the World. I think that's what that one.
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
And it was
yeah.
like a they live situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each one was like level was like a scenario where like you'd have like an option to go between like one door or the other, and then when you go in the door, it would be like Bartzilla fighting like in a city.
I do
or-
remember
Yeah,
this.
and then you had to like find homework and like you like the whole thing is like you're walking on the street, you pick up pieces of homework. I think the object of the game is to find a piece of homework in every level.
Mm-hmm.
I never beat it. I remember watching like a playthrough of someone like beating it in like 20 minutes or something like that. I'm like, how the hell do you beat this so fast?
It's
You know,
so
like,
wild. Yeah.
but it was such a strange game. I remember trying to like figure out how to like play certain levels. I'm like, okay, I did everything I'm supposed to do, and you're just stuck at the end of this level, and you're like, now what? There's like no real direction. It was just kind of like,
Yep.
good luck if you find it. If you're not, no, you're dead.
Yeah. That was the fun thing is like with like those older games, like having cheat codes. Also, you couldn't really save games in for Nintendo. Super, they had passwords.
Yeah, like Mega Man. I remember doing that with them.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
Castlevania. Yeah, like everything had passwords. And I remember having like scraps of paper all around my game
Notebooks.
system. Yeah,
Yep.
notebooks. Yeah, like this is for this game, and like because like Castlevania, for example, it was like a 9 squared like thing, and like one square's got like holy water, the next one's blank, then the next one has an axe, and the one
Yeah.
below it's blank. Like you had to like draw the whole fucking thing out, as opposed to other ones. It's like your password is 2Z46
Yeah.
and P.
I can just see Mom Boyd just coming across that and like, you're going to church. Now. You're going to talk to a priest.
So did you ever use like Game Genie?
That's
Oh,
where
yeah.
I was gonna get to next. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Game Genie
Hell
was
yeah.
your best friend. When
Yeah.
You were a kid.
Yeah.
I used to use it for 64 games. I used to use it for GoldenEye, and I found out.
Wait, they had one for 64 also?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
thought it was a Super and
it might have been
and
Game
regular
Shark
Nintendo.
or something.
I think it was Game Sharp by
Oh,
then.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Game Shark was for PlayStation.
It's same area.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Go on.
wish.
Go on.
So like I had these codes where you could like in GoldenEye open up any level to play as like a battle world because it only give you like I think it was like 8 levels or something like that. But even the levels that you
Yeah.
did have, you'd only have like a portion of the level. So with the Game Shark or whatever, you could like set it so you can walk through doors, and then you can just play the rest of the level. So on the battle modes, you can play like the entire level, which is sweet because then like you're not just confined to like the first
Yes.
like, part
Small
of it.
little
So,
parts of it. Yeah.
yeah, so I remember doing that with GoldenEye. Like that was the only way to play GoldenEye in my opinion. With that, so you can play the whole level, and then you can use like or you can play any level like the end level where you're on that like satellite thing or whatever. But you can do that in like a death match or whatever. So, but yeah, it was shit. Like
Dude, James. I was to say James Genie.
Game Genie.
Game Genie. those things were. It was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like I think no, I don't. I thought maybe I might still have like one of the books for it, but that was the dopest fucking thing to have.
Yeah. Just the fact that you like mod the game. Like I think
99 lives,
yeah.
all of the powers or whatever you can have.
Yeah, I remember reading a few games. I'm like, I want to try this game. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
Yeah.
Because you had like the whole catalog of games.
Yeah, for like every game. Yeah.
And it made it easier to play games that you would normally not play.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think like the Turtles game, you would just like throw it on there like, oh, 99 lives, so at least I can
Like,
try to
that's
get
how
through.
that's
Yeah.
how you beat the games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
'Cause
the
otherwise-
only way.
There's no way you can beat those games.
And I'm pretty sure when you would submit like pictures to like Nintendo of like accomplishments to get in the magazine, you'd have to take a picture of like the console and the TV so they
No, you
Make sure
shouldn't
no game
cheat.
change.
Yeah.
so yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, you get it. You're like, where's my picture? No, that had 99 lives on the corner. You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know way you had 99 lives.
No.
Like why is the game sticking out so much further?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was photoshopped, I swear.
Yeah. And for those of you out there that never had or played Game Genie, if you're too young, like it was something with the cartridges. You'd put the game into this, and then that would go into the system, and then it would bring up a whole screen, and you basically had a magazine that would say like if you wanted 99 lives, you would just type in like this code, and then press like start or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you could punch in as many codes as you want.
Like unlimited bullets, like
Yeah.
if you're playing Mario, you have a star the entire time, it never goes away.
Yep.
Crazy shit like that. Anything you think of, pretty much. And I think even people figured out ways to like use the Game Genie and like come up with their own codes to do certain things in the games that weren't even listed in the book, because it was basically just like a way to inject like code into like the system, and then it would. And so sometimes like people would just like mash a bunch of like codes into there, and then it would work, but it would do something weird. Like okay, you have a big glitch in the corner. Now all you see is like a black square. moving around.
Yeah.
So like sometimes it would like do weird shit, and then other times it would like do cool shit.
Yep. Shit was so much cooler back then.
Yeah.
Let me.
Somehow you talk to Russia.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys this: if you guys were to create a game nowadays, would you be adding in like cheat codes and shit like that?
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, and
I mean,
I'm
they still kind of do. Like, there's certain things like you can do in like even like the new Mario game. You could, if you're is it a Yoshi or something like that, you don't die.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, as long as you don't fall down the hill or
Yeah, Yoshi or the other character, Nabbit. Like
yeah, you don't die.
Yeah, you just bounce off enemies and you keep going, which is good because if you're like playing with like like
The
your,
kid.
your kid or something like that, and like here you play with this character, and then you can still be part of the experience. without,
Yeah,
like,
and
screwing
not-
things up. Like
yeah.
Yeah, my like little 8-year-old nephew's like, no, that doesn't work. I'm like, yeah, it does. So how would you know? I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I had
I'll-
a Game Genie, but
I had to figure this shit out first
Yeah.
before Game Genie.
And not only cheat codes, but like hidden things that are not like pay to play stuff. Like I love the fact that like in like Mortal Kombat and even like Street Fighter, where you could just unlock characters by like playing the game and doing certain things.
Yeah.
Like I hate nowadays how it's just like, oh, you can just buy that. It's like, what's the fun in that? Like I want to be able to like find it and then unlock it, and
I get so mad because I bought a Switch late and just got the Mario Kart 8, like,
Yeah.
and everything was already unlocked. I'm like, well, what the fuck's why did I buy this?
right, yeah.
If you love that, and I don't know if I mentioned this game before, but there's a game that I've been playing for, I'd say about 10, roughly about 10 years. The game's called The Binding of Isaac.
Mm.
Have you played?
You've told me about it.
Okay.
Yep.
Have you played this game before?
No, I've heard about it.
Okay.
but
So it's like a top view, like Zelda, but it's one of those things like where when you go into a room, all the doors in that room are locked until you kill all the enemies in the room, then they open up, right? And then you kind of work your way around the map.
Yeah.
There's always like a treasure room to get something. You fight the boss, you get another item. There's a store, there's secrets. It's fun. You go through like different floors to get to the game. And there's so many fucking like old school like Nintendo and references to it, like different items you could pick up. Like there's some items you can pick up that you can use this item every couple rooms. Like you use it once, and like it's like the bar drains, and like it'll have like 3 spaces, right? So when you clear 3 rooms, it'll fill back up, and you can use it again. But there's like a Pac-Man, like a Game Boy, right? If you use it, you have kind of like that star power, but it's like the Pac-Man, like he turns into like the thing where like the mouth's like opening and closing to like kill enemies, and like different references to that, which is super cool when you're playing because it's like that same style. The cool thing is too is that every single time you play it, it's always different. The layout of the floors, the items that you get from your treasure rooms, your boss items, the bosses you fight, the enemies, like it's different every single time. But the cool thing is that when you first start the game, I think you're able to play with 2, maybe 3 characters, and I think there's like 14 total.
Yeah.
But it tells you, like, if you want to unlock this character, you have to get like 7 hearts of health in one game. You know what I mean? There's certain items that gives you like another thing of health, or you have to have an X amount of money, and in this game, and you unlock new characters. So it's like it brings you back to like that.
So it gives you like the incentive, like this is what you need to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, hey, if you want to unlock this character, because you can have a max of like 99 cents, and then there's items because they made different expansions. Like the first one's just Binding of Isaac Rebirth, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's on Switch now because I think that's kind of what you have, right?
Yeah.
And it's kid friendly, so you can actually play with like your kid too. Like it's just very. And the funny thing is like they make fun of a lot of like religion, like heaven and hell. It's a big fucking over religious people. But it's the first one's called Rebirth. Then they had Afterbirth, and then which is like more levels, like new items, new.
Afterbirth?
Yeah, and then there was Afterbirth Plus.
Oh boy.
And then they came out with Repentance.
Okay.
But there's a story that goes on. Like you'll start figuring out like as you're playing, like there's different endings and whatnots. But it's just so fun because you can have an awesome fucking run. And you're like, this is awesome. I'm gonna play it again. You could have another one, or you can just the run's fucked. You die after like the 3rd floor. And like, okay, well, I'll just do another one, right? And it's different every single time you play it. But it's so fun because it does give you that same old school incentive. You don't have to pay to play.
Yeah.
You just actually have to do this in order to fucking unlock these characters or
I gotta try
special
that game.
items. It's so fun, dude.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
You told me about it before, and like, I put it in the back of my memory, like, yeah, I'll check it out, and I forgot about it. You know, like so. No, I have to check that out.
Yeah, because like I think you can get like the whole like bundle pack too for like I don't know, like $30, and it's like
bad.
4 games basically, and it's just like tons of fucking items and everything else in there. Like it's a blast. And once you start playing it too, like it feels a little defeating when you first start playing it.
Yeah.
You're like, this game is so hard. Why did they make it so hard? But it's literally just you just keep playing and you're like, oh, okay, well the enemy's just gonna do this. Now you just kind of figure out what's what, and then you just become fucking addicted to it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was playing it, when Jess and I first started dating, I was working from home in like the office upstairs, and I'd come downstairs to make myself lunch. She's in my living room playing it because I got her hooked on it. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? She's like, oh, it's on my break from work, and I just wanted to come over. I was like, you didn't even tell me you're here to say hello? And she's like, I just wanted to come over and play Isaac. And I was like, okay, hello.
You come second in this relationship.
Yeah, to still fucking play that game to this day, and it's been like 10 years because it's still that fun.
That's awesome. Like having games that playability you just go back to.
Mm-hmm.
I think
and they also have like kind of like codes you can put in for like all the fun shit.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think my go-to game that I keep going back to is it's for PlayStation, but it's XCOM 2. It's like this turn-based alien kind of like fighting game or whatever. I got Erin hooked on it also, and she's like when we don't know like what we want to play or whatever, she'll like go back to that because like you make your own custom characters and stuff, and it's funny because like we made like characters like of our kids when they're like younger, so we have like baby Evie on here, and so we go back and look at it and like so we got this like small character of like my kid, and she's like 6 now, but it's just like it's funny to see, but like that's been like our go-to game for a while. She recently started getting back into Skyrim. I never got into that game though, so
I never played it.
Yeah.
Didn't get into it at all.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends that were
You played, don't you?
No.
No?
I looked at that. I was like, I don't have enough time in the world to do that.
Okay.
Game.
Yeah,
So I was like,
It just seemed like
Oh, it just seemed like it was like I need a whole no. That's a part-time job. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm okay.
I'm like, I don't want to walk around and like harvest flowers all day and then
Yeah.
make stuff. I'm like, this is just like real
It's
life
like-
stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Just to even get to halfway through the base level, you're like 400 hours into the game.
Oh
I'm like,
my god.
no, I'm good,
yeah,
man.
It's just like a giant open world map,
Pretty
right?
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
that's why I just don't have time for something.
No, yeah,
nope.
same.
No, it's like let me beat this game in like a week, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
same. There's a friend of mine, which John, I'm pretty sure you know. Tomboy, I'm not sure if you met him. Maybe once or twice. I'm not gonna say his name on here. But he does a lot of like graphic design and like art stuff, and he was just telling me recently that his next move is he's trying to make his own video game, which I think is fucking sick.
Sweet.
I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, that's awesome. Like, not only is that like a really cool goal, but also if you accomplish it, you're like, yeah, I made a video game, right? And I'm like, okay, so like, what are we talking here? And he's like, well, I think I'm gonna come out with like a fighting style game. And I go, great. And I think like that's a good place to start. Like, unless you don't have like something like a really cool story, this would be a good place to start. You know, kind of get your foot in the door and then kind of figure everything out from there. He's a really creative person.
Yeah.
But when he was like kind of telling me about it, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And I was like, the thing is though, there's a billion fighting games out there, and you need some kind of niche.
Mm-hmm.
What's your niche? He's like, well, I don't know. I'm kind of figuring that out.
Yeah.
He's like, I got a lot of really cool characters from like his like artwork shit that he does, and I go, actually, some of those would be some like really cool characters to have. I'm like, so, look, but do you have anything set up, Brett? And he's like, no, not for anything like a niche or whatever. I was like, okay. And I was like, you know what you should do? I'm like, you should fucking have some fucking cool ass, like, you need to have cheat codes. And he's
Yeah.
like, cheat codes? I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, you're as old as I am. Like, we loved having cheat codes as a kid, right? Like, up, down, down, left, right, start, A, B, you know, whatever the codes were.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then it gives you all that cool shit. And he's like, yeah, maybe. I'm like, that's it? Maybe? Like, I feel like if somebody said that to me and I was making a game, I'm like, holy fuck, why didn't I think of that? That's a
Yeah.
fucking dope idea. And I started pitching a few other things. I'm like, dude, this was also cool when we were kids. He wanted nothing of it.
No.
No.
Nah.
I
It's
think
also a lot more
He's
work
not,
to it.
doesn't sound
Well,
like
for
too-
sure, but-
yeah. Not too serious then, huh?
Oh, well, I don't know. Like, he's definitely the kind of person that, like, he's like, hey, check out this really cool idea I have. And you're
Mhm.
like, okay, this is awesome, right? And then you're praising him for it, then he's excited.
Yeah.
But if you try suggesting anything to him, he just wants to shut it down.
Ah.
And you're like, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's
give us it's his idea.
yeah. That's what I've had to do with my old bosses. But
Hey, you came up with this real great idea.
yeah. No. Remember you told me last week that was a really good idea you had.
Yeah.
And I just thought, like, I don't know, like, what did you guys think of that?
Cheat codes? Or
No, I just mean like if someone were to come up to you and be like, "Hey, dude, that's a really cool idea for a game. What if you put in like cheat codes?"
I feel like if you were actually going to make a game and like if that was a good idea, like or you thought it was, like you should be like, yeah, okay, and like start brainstorming with it. I mean,
Because he did say he was like trying to make it like the old school style. I'm like, well, perfect.
yeah. I feel like cheat codes would almost be like a necessity then.
You
Yeah,
would think,
yeah.
If you're trying to make some sort of like retro fighting game for people our age to be like, holy fuck, this brings me back to like Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
When the graphics were just okay, like they were good, but like the cool thing was like the cool like babalities and friendships or
Yeah.
like
Toasty.
yeah, it's shit like that. But like you could do cheat codes for whatever, like you know, like it'd be like this brings me back, and then
Yeah.
also something new for younger generations that like games today don't have cheat codes, right? Like you can.
Yeah,
am
not that I
I
know.
wrong
you
here?
don't you don't want cheat codes because then they null and void like the trophy or achievement list.
Oh, they're
mostly.
achievements. So that's true. But like we didn't have an achievement thing.
True.
growing
yeah.
up.
I mean, they had them in the books. Like this is how you beat the game 100%.
Sure.
But nobody ever did that.
Yeah, but we didn't have anything. I mean, they weren't online, so like
some
it's not
people
like you know. I mean, like there wasn't like an achievement thing that pops up and it's like,
Hey,
Cool.
you did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that wasn't
yeah.
something I cared about. Like, I think back then, like, even to this day, when it comes to like playing online, like I've had friends who are like, "Oh, what's your handle?" I'm like, "I don't want to play you online." Like I'll like if you want to sit in the same room with me, I'll play a game with you. But like, I mentally I'm just like not there with like, all right, I'm gonna go online, and I tried doing that with like one of the, I think it was like Street Fighter 4 or 5. I just got stomped, and I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, I'm like, dude, I'm not even gonna try this. There's like some like 12-year-old prodigy over in like Korea just killing me. I'm like, pff. Like, all right, man. Like, hopefully you win the championship, but I'm done.
Yep.
You
I
know?
gave up on online gameplay a long time ago. Like
Yeah.
back when PS3, you still could play free online
Mhm.
before
Oh,
they
yeah.
started charging for it. And like the Mortal Kombat 8, maybe I think was out,
Yeah.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
And like that was super fun. That was like the first one where they did like the X-ray thing, where like
Oh yeah, yeah,
and you'd like show like all the bones smashing into different pieces.
yeah.
But you were able to play online with people, and we would try going online and just get our fucking asses handed to us.
Yeah. This is like, man, I didn't need that much of a reality check of how much I suck at this game. I'm like, let
Yeah.
me play the computer. At least if I beat that, I'll feel good about it.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why I never play like Call of Duty and stuff like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
They were
Yeah.
fun for a little while, but like then
I
it's
don't
like
want to
I'm
be
over
called
this.
everywhere done to this on.
Yeah,
Yeah, Call of Duty, like Halo, like those first-person shooters, like anything beyond GoldenEye and Doom for me, I'm just like, I'm out.
Yeah, because some 12-year-olds calling you like every whatever
Yeah.
name is under the sun.
yeah.
Getting creative
Telling how
over
I'm
there.
sucking my mom. I'm like,
Yeah.
no good for you.
Like shit. Arr.
I mean, I liked the first like 2 Halos. Like playing those like online, those were fun. But that was before like everything's fucking like modded and shit now, and
Yeah.
like
If you're in a group like just your friends and that's it, that's all.
Well, the-
Playing
the,
like LAN parties. back in
yeah,
the day,
those
yeah,
were fun. That was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. But like I didn't mind also like doing the online ones because at the time it was a new experience though too, right? When you could play like Halo 2 and you're like, holy shit, I'm playing with people in like China or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
England. You're like, holy shit, this is wild.
Yeah, that part of it's cool, but then when you start getting slaughtered at every single match, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, this isn't as fun as that one.
No.
I'll always, every once in a while, like my buddies will be like, "Hey, you should play online." I'm like, "Do you need a trophy? I'll jump on. You can kill me all you want, but like, give me the same trophy." Never really works out.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of just like letting the player 2 just sit there.
Yeah. I'm like, you can go.
Yeah.
I'll go in and help you get kills. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the bigger things or difference wise between like the generations of gamers. Like the online gamers are like, it's all about like, you know, the different trophies and rankings you get that everyone can see worldwide versus like, you know, our generation and whatnot, where it's just like, cool, I just want to like unlock the cool little secrets of the game, and that's the
Mhm.
reward there, you know.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Yeah,
So,
it's like the cloud, like a online cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was fun. Like those LAN parties were great. Like we had 2 Xboxes, right? And then you like one group of people are playing in one room and the other one's playing in like another room, and you had like a 4 against 4
yeah.
for like Halo.
Mhm.
Like that shit was so fun back in the day.
I
missed
like
a
the,
long
I missed the Halo
cable.
boat. Like I
Yeah.
don't know
Oh,
why
you
I
didn't
just-
play it?
No, like
Oh, it
I
was
think
so
I tried
fun.
it once, and like it was one of those games that like I had friends that had played it like way before I even like picked up a control and tried it, and like I just got slaughtered right away. I'm just like,
See, that takes the fun out of it.
yeah. So I got turned off from Halo. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know.
No, if you were in like during its time, it was a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Like, and especially because everyone's learning together. But like, if you had those LAN parties, like I said, you have 2 Xboxes in 2 separate rooms. You have like one long cable, like a 20-foot cable that's reaching to like 2 systems, and it's just like a 4 versus 4. You know, like it was so cool back then.
Yeah.
Online gameplay was so much cooler back then than it is now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we're come down to our ends here, boys. Super Nintendo. Love this one. This is one of my favorites. But we'll be
Yeah.
moving on. We're still gonna do like Sega and 64 and all that. So make sure you guys, stay tuned in for all the gamer nerds. We'll be working our way through them
Exactly.
through future episodes.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, dude, for sure.
You were great.
Make sure you take a listen to on all the social medias, Pizza Bagels Pod, on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeartRadio.
Mhm.
Also the other medias that we're kind of on
There.
Instagram, TikTok.
Yep.
And if you're out of the country, you can always shoot us an email, pizzabagelspod@gmail.com. Anything you heard today, if you want to disagree with any of the codes that John was saying, or if you got any other codes for certain games. I know we didn't even talk about like the Contra one. I think that's like the biggest one, right?
Up, down, left, right.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody can text in or leave a
tell me I'm
voicemail.
wrong.
Yeah, and let us know. 440-363.
0121.
Nice. Yeah, John. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, John.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys all next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.